the Mind Talk Show. Welcome to the episode today. My name is Lynn, a mental wellness coach. So I want us to go back and look at when we are grieving as adults, we leave the children aside because we think children don't have any emotions, children don't feel it, children don't think. This is what we feel. So many a times we leave our children aside when we are going through grief. For example, you're grieving the loss of your child, the loss of your husband, the loss of your wife, the loss of your parents, that is their grandparents. So we leave the children aside because maybe we don't see the need, we don't consider them as people who can go through grief. So I want us to look at today, how do you help a child go through a loss or go through grieving? Because I have told you, children are human beings. They feel the same way we feel. The only difference is that they don't know how to differentiate the right and the wrong. That is the only difference. But otherwise, in terms of emotions, they go through emotions as normal, as a human being, as any other person. So we don't need to put our children aside when we are going through grieving. We need to know how to help our children go through grieving because they do. They do. If you didn't know this as a parent, now you know. Helping a child cope with loss is perhaps one of the most important thing an adult can do. And for sure, if you can if you can take care of your child through grieving process or grieving period, and this does not mean that it can be you, like it's you who is taking care of them, but you can assign someone who is not much grieving so that they can help your child. Because children go through grieving, I've told you, they are like any other person. And remember, the kind of grief they do is that of a loss. They go through a loss, as a human being, as an adult, go through a loss. And this gives them a sense of insecurity because they don't know what will happen tomorrow. They don't know what is going to happen. So they express their grieving in so many different dimensions. So I want us to look at how do children go through grieving period, or how do they portray their grief out there. And many a times we usually don't know. We usually don't know that our child or our children are going through grieving. But there are certain things that I'm going to reveal today to you that will make you understand that for sure these children are going through grieving. Preschool usually see death as temporary. Like you find them asking questions like, when will mommy come back? When will daddy come back? They don't understand what is going on yet. It has not hit them that this person has gone forever. And the worst thing is when parents will lie to these children that, yeah, your grandma went for a journey, a long journey, they will come back later. Or they went and they will come back. This is what we should avoid. We should tell them the way it is, not focusing per se on the details, but we can give them what they can be able to digest. I've told you children respond to grief differently in various directions, and now I want us to look at how they look like physically, or what they show, or the reactions they give out when they are grieving. That is physical reactions to grief in children. Number one, sleep disturbance. This children never sleeps. This one will let you know that this guy, this girl, this baby, this boy is going through a grieving period, because they will have that sleep disturbance because of hallucination, because of dreaming. The sleep will be distorted completely. They will not have a good sleep. Another thing is headache. They will complain of headache, stomach aches. You will see a baby spending more time in the toilet, because of the stomach upsets and all that. They'll also complain of headache. Rarely do children have headache, but if they are grieving or you have lost a loved one and they are complaining of headache, just know that they are going through a grieving period. There is dizziness. They tell you, mommy, I'm feeling dizzy. I'm just feeling like I'm dizzy. So you should do something. If they tell you that they feel exhausted, they tell you that, Mom, I'm feeling very tired, Dad, I'm feeling very tired, very awkward, I don't understand myself. um they can also have muscular aches. These are things that some of them you will see as a parent, and some of them they will tell you themselves. And there is always change of appetite. If they used to eat, they have good appetite, they are good eaters, this time round they'll tell you, me, I'm not feeling like feeding, I'm not eating. And they will go this on and on for some days. This is when you will notice, yeah, that my child is going through a grieving period. There is emotional reactions to grief. There is a way they act emotionally when they are going through a loss or grieving. So number one, they will be guilt and self-blaming. You will find them saying things like now teenagers, they will not even teenagers, even the preschool, they will say that if I was there earlier, maybe I could have controlled grandpa's death. I mean, I mean, I should have gone there earlier. I told you, Mommy, we travel, we go and see grandpa, and you see now what has happened. So they will blame themselves. If I prayed harder, maybe this could have not happened, because they don't understand why things happen the way they have happened. They will feel anger. They will have a lot of anger. Anytime you call them, they are just angry. They are angry at people. They are angry at their aunts. They don't want to see their aunts. They don't want to see the specific uncles. They are just angry. And more so, they will be anxious, and they will have sadness. When you see your child doing this, even withdrawal, if you see your child is withdrawing from other children, the really is when children don't play, like they withdraw from other children. You will know that something is amiss. There is cognitive reactions to grief. In children, they will have forgetfulness. You are telling them this, they are forgetting the next minute. They will have disbelief, denial. They will stay in denial for the longest time, because they will say, no, Papa did not die, or Grandpa did not die, or Grandma is still alive, I saw her coming, greeting me, giving me this. Whatever they used to do with the child, they will tell you that they have been seeing their grandparents or whoever who died. They will have confusion and, of course, loss of focus. Even in school, you'll be told that your child is not concentrating very well. They are distorted. They are not doing well in terms of cognitive or concentration. There is also change in behavior reactions. I want us to look at behavior reactions. How will your children behave? Of course, they will behave aggressive. They will not be normal. They will just be hyper. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. They are disturbed. They don't want to hear. They will be crying all the time. Especially they lost their parents, they will cry a lot. They will withdraw. They will feel like they are tensed all the time, irritable. They are irritated with anything small. They are just irritated. Seeking reminders, they will be asking, what did you say? Ebu, repeat to me. What did you just say? Huh? What did you just say? Huh? Every other time you're huh? And there are those who will avoid reminders. They don't want you to remind them over anything. They just don't want. Children are also affected spiritually, which they can they can have anger towards God. Okay, this one more specifically is for adults, whereby we have a lot of anger towards God. Even children, they usually ask questions. If Mom, you said, or Dad, you said that there's God, why is it that they decided to take Grandpa or Grandma away? Or why is it that my mom is not there while other people have their moms around? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? So this is what will happen. And anytime you see these characters, you see these behaviors, you see these reactions, try to help your child, because it is quite sad. It is very sad for the children. They will be shocked. Sometimes they will be very in shock. They will just be in shock. They can even faint. Yes, children can faint. Yes, I know you have heard this maybe for your first time, but children can faint. Depending on how you gave out the news, depending on how you broke the news to them, like, Grandpa is dead. and maybe you had taught them. It's good to take children through dying process. It's not bad. Tell children, let them know that there is death. People die and they never ever come back. Yeah, once somebody dies, once they are buried to the ground, they never ever come back until maybe resurrection day. Okay, so don't hide the truth from children. Now, if you are a parent who has been teaching children about this, so definitely if you come and break the news in a usual way, like your grandpa is dead, they will know, oh my God, I will never see my grandpa again. They might faint. They might go into a shock, and maybe you don't want this. So break the news in a more good manner, so that they don't get shocked or trapped inside that feeling. Now, the most important thing is how to help your child out of this situation. It has happened. Their grandfather, their grandmother, their mother, their father, their uncles, their aunts, any relative is dead. Now, how do you go about it? How do you help your child? This is the most important thing, that it's the most important role that an adult is supposed to do. Don't feel that you're the only one who is affected. You're a mother, your husband has died. So you feel that you're the only one who is affected. So you forget about your toddlers. You forget about your teenagers. You need to take them through what has happened. You need to show them that you're there for them. And then you don't have to keep quiet. Like, you don't have to pretend that you're not crying, you're not affected. You can cry, but you can be emotional. That is what I'm trying to say. You can be emotional, but try to tell them why it has happened that way. So just be emotional. It's correct. It's right. It's right. Because for sure we know once somebody dies, they will never come back. So it's good for you to help them to know how to go about this. So, guys, here is some things parents can do to help their child who are going through a loss of their loved ones. Number one, use simple words to talk about death. Let your children know that there is death. Teach them about dying process, the causes of death, and what they are expected to do. Tell them. You don't have to go to details, as I've said. You just tell them what they need to hear. Simple things, simple, straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush, because these are children. They don't understand what you're trying to say. So tell them what they should understand. Simple words. Use simple words. Okay? Tell them. They will understand. In this manner, you will have helped them. Anytime you have broken the news to them, pause and see their reaction. Just try to pause. Like, for example, you have come and told them, your grandma has died. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sad. Even myself, I've been affected by this news. But I thought I should let you know that your grandma has died. So pause and see their reaction. Give them time to react into the news that you have already shared with them. This is one way to help them. Another way, listen and comfort them. Remember, you are the only comforter they have. You are their mother, you are their father, you are their parent, you are their friend at this particular moment. They don't know any other person. You don't expect any other person to come and believe with them. Okay? You are the only person who can listen to what they have to say. And remember, every child have their own actions. They have their own way of looking at things or grieving. So learn and listen. Okay? Listen and listen and listen. Some kids can cry. These are just simple reactions. Some kids can ask very tricky questions. Very, very tricky questions. So prepare yourself as well. Be knowledgeable on what to say in case they ask you this or that. Because they are curious. They want to know what has caused death. What is going to happen. Where is their grandma going to go? So you are at liberty to tell them the story. The process. After this, they will be taken home, and then many people will come to grieve with us. Some of them will say sorry to us for the loss, and we will say thank you. and let them know that they can stick with you so that you can support them emotionally. This is quite very, very important. Another thing, put feelings into words. Ask ask kids to say what they feel, what they are thinking about at that particular moment. Let them tell you. Like, for example, make it easier by telling them, for my side, I feel very sad right now, because I and both of us loved grandma, and I feel very sad. I feel very affected with the news, and I don't know about you. How do you feel? So let them put those feelings into words. Let them tell you if they feel sad, if they are feeling anything they feel. Let them put it into words. In this, you will help them, because you will know for sure this girl, this boy is feeling sad. You will know how to bring them back to their normal senses. Tell your children what to expect. Tell them every process. Yes, after death, I've told you. Give them a process. From here, we are going for the burial. But I don't know if you're ready to go for the burial, because the burial is whereby grandma or grandfather is going to be brought in a casket or a coffin, and then people are going to view the body for their last respect. Just tell them what it is, so that they can understand the process. Because at the end of the day, they'll have to tell you if they are going with you or not. Because there are those who will say, no, mommy, no, daddy, no, me, no, I can't go with you. Because many a times you find parents carrying children along. They have not prepared them psychologically. They have not prepared them in any way. So once the children reaches there, they see parents yelling, crying left, right, center. They fear. They are in shock. They are in disbelief. You make the matters worse. Because I've told you, many a times we assume that children don't go through grieving. This is what happens. If this happens, then you are in the wrong path, because you are supposed to let your child know that this is going to happen. Many people are going to come to our home to give us sorry, or to believe with us, and they are going to tell us sorry. They are going to be around with us. They are going to hang around with us until the body is going to be put inside a grave. That is when we are going to say bye-bye. And many people are going to cry at this particular moment. So tell them the process, the procedure, so that they agree to go with you. They are prepared. They know what to expect. Because if you take them along and they find this is what is happening, they'll be shocked. I've told you. So be prepared yourself. Now, another thing is explain events that will happen. Explain everything. I think I've repeated this point. Yeah. Explain the events that will happen. There is body viewing, there is funeral, there is memorial service. Tell them ahead of time so that they can give you their suggestion. Don't shy off. Don't feel bad, because it's not your fail. It's not your wish that maybe your parents passed on, or their parents or their father or their mother. So try to give them what they need to understand. You can give your child a role. This one will help them. Having a small active role. This one lets kids be part of the group, be part of the grieving process or period, or procedure, and it helps them to cope up with the grief. You might invite your child to read a poem, when there is burial, during a burial ceremony. You can invite your child to read maybe a poem for their father or their mother or their grandma. Just make them part of you. You can invite them to pray. You can invite them to sing a song. You can invite them to do something, or even photo session. It's very, very important. Once you give them this chance to be part of the process, they will cope up very nicely, because they know, oh yeah, there's a part that when I give out the song, that is when we were about to lay grandma to her grave. So yeah, I understand the process. So it will make it easier. It will make it easier for them. Another thing, help your child remember the person. How do you do this, guys? Parents, this is how you do about it. In the days and weeks ahead, encourage your child to draw pictures. If they are young, like toddlers, preschool, encourage them to draw pictures of grandma, grandfather, their father, their mother, anybody that you have lost in the family. So encourage them to draw pictures, nice pictures about them. You can encourage them to write stories of their loved one. You can also be part of it. You can give stories. If it's your own parent, like you are a parent, but these are their grandfather or grandmother, you can give them a story, how you grew up, how the love was, how you grew up, the 10 of you, the 5 of you, the 7 of you, you know, how the life was those old days. They love to hear these stories, because it will help them cope. They will know that, okay, grandfather has done a lot into our lives, into mommy's life, into daddy's life. So it is okay. It's okay to let him go. So encourage them, and encourage them to do that. Don't avoid talking about the person. You know, there are those families you find it's weird because they have just buried a person this week, and next week they are forgotten. I don't know whether they are, it's grieving. You know, people grieve differently, so I don't know whether it's some sort of grieving. So if you are hard talking about their grandmother or any person who has passed on, you will see fire. They don't want you to talk about them. It's either they are in denial, they don't want to hear about them. It's either, I don't know what usually happens, but it's so weird because it is encouraged that you keep on talking about the deceased. You talk about the person who has died as long as you want. This is one way of healing. Even you as a parent, you need to talk about the dead person, the goodness, the things you shared together, the things you did together. It is good. This is one way of you acknowledging that this person lived and you enjoyed their company. It is good. So don't, especially those happy moments, happy memories, they help in grieving. When you sit like this and you start thinking about how you lived with your father, that who has now passed on, you will find it easier for you to acknowledge everything that he did. Now you will find yourself internalizing the memories that you shared, the good memories, the good things that you did, the projects that he helped you to do. If it's your father, you know, you will find it very, very key. Okay, give comfort and reassurance to your children. Don't just leave them that way. Notice if your child is sad. You can notice that your child is sad, is worried, is upset. They don't want to eat. They don't want to sleep. If you notice this is the case, try to help your child out. Try to help them, reassure them that you're there for them. You're going to help them go through grieving until they get back to their feet. Okay? Don't ignore that the fact that they are also grieving. Don't assume that you're the only one, the only person in the world who knows how to grieve. Okay? Yes. Help your child feel better. This is something very easy. Provide comfort to your children. Whatever they need, provide it to them, because this is going to make them very comfortable. They will feel better. Okay? If they need to cry, just let them cry, you know. Give them a shoulder to lean on. These are children, for heaven's sake. We need to show them some love. Some love. Now that they have lost their parents, they have lost their grandma, grandfather, we need to be closer to them so that we can guide them through the grieving process. Give your children time to heal from the loss. Remember, you have this loss together. So you need to give them time to heal. If they are behaving abnormally, if their behavior is distorted, if their cognitive is tortured, like they can't concentrate, just give them time. Remember, they are going through a lot of grieving. They are going through that loss as you are going through it. So give them time to heal. Remember the person who they loved, who has passed on. Remember those good memories together. In this one, you're trying to help them come up to terms with the situation that has happened. And in this, you will help them to heal very fast. So guys, I thought I should bring this topic of how we should help our children go through grieving, because I found that many parents don't consider children as, I don't know, human beings or something like that. And yet, they also have feelings. They are human beings. They go through a lot in this life. So, as parents, we usually ignore the signs of grieving. We see these signs, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional signs of grieving in children, but we don't want to help them. Or rather, we don't know whether they are going through grieving or not, because we assume children don't have feelings. So, from me to you, parents, children go through grieving. You should understand about that, and you should give them time. You should give them a hand. You should give them a shoulder to cry on. And above all, you should support them emotionally. They need you more than ever. If they have said no to something, let them be. If they have said they are not going to attend the burial, let them be. Because you have already explained the process, the procedure that are going to happen, and they have seen, no, I can't contain myself. I can't. So, do as it is. Okay? Thank you, parents, for listening, or any other person who is listening to this message. Let us support our children who are going through a loss. Children go through a loss, and this is where we are making a big mistake. So from me, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And for those people who have been here supporting me, I'm thankful because of you. That is why I'm here. And if you have any topic that you want me to tackle, you can write on the comment section so that we can have an interactive session. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.